Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the District to be held at 105 Fort Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 9th day of September 2015 at the hour of 6 p.m. for the consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on September 3rd, 2015 at 2:25 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, and a copy has been furnished to the county clerk in Camden County, Texas. Item 1, this meeting is called to order. There is a quorum minus Martin Cantu Jr. Everybody rise for the invocation and the pledge.
Heavenly Father, we thank you again for another day that you have given us. Lord God, we just ask you to be with us, guide us today as we go through our agenda items, that we make the right decisions. Give us knowledge and wisdom, Lord, to continue the meeting. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2 down. Item number 3 is invitation to the audience for discussion.
You got nothing to say back here.
How you been, Kenzie?
My name's Whitey.
Item 4, consider and approve minutes for the workshop of August 26, 2015, and the regular meeting of August 26, 2015.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Friedman,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 5, General Manager's Report. Mr. Galvan.
Okay, I have an audit committee there. We're gonna have to have a meeting before the end of next
At the end of
third week,
yeah, the third week of
the third week
September.
of September. So we're just wanted to find out, see what date you all can make it.
Before when?
The
We
third
best
week.
the third week of September if possible.
This is for what?
The audit committee to make sure you know what is it that we're expecting from that audit
Who's
at
on
the
the
end
audit
of the
committee?
year.
I didn't read the paper, I left it up there, but I believe Mr.
It's-
Friedman.
Mr.
Yes.
Freeman?
Mr.
and
Cantu?
Jeff?
I think-
No, I'm not.
no, no,
I'm
no.
on the,
I think it's Mr. Cantu, isn't it?
Oh, then
I
it's
don't
Mr.
want to be on any committee.
Yes, I think it was Mr. Cantu.
Then he's chosen.
Okay, we're on the
We will check
annexation,
right now.
Whitey.
Well, come up with a date for them.
Okay,
I can't see the calendar, but
thank you.
I'm pretty much open. I'm gonna be gone.
Let me see.
I don't have much going on.
And now the
Tuesday-
other one,
Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are best, preferably.
15th, 16th, through 17th,
Between the 21 and the 25th?
Right.
21st,
22, 23, 24 would be ideal. Yeah, Mondays and Fridays are really difficult for me.
We'll try to, probably, we'll try for the 22nd.
That's
and the
ideal.
19th.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
Okay, I'll let you know for text. Thank you.
Mondays, just not Monday or Fridays. Those are really tough days.
Okay. The other item that I have there is the American Water Works water audit. I met with a gentleman by the name of Mark Mathis. He used to work with the Texas Water
Mark.
Development Board,
Callum's back on
doing
water
leak detections
rationing.
and, you
I don't know
know,
why, but they
trying
are.
to find out where, how to do some water audits to find water loss, and any type of metering systems, and they did come by and left me a product catalog with instruments like for deep leak detection with monitors where you can sit on one corner and the other corner and then measure the in-between. And usually between the hours of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., that's when everybody's mostly sleeping, and you can detect leaks out there in the system. The most concern that I kind of questioned him was the 24-inch line that crosses under the bay. It has a casing on it, but I explained to him, you know, like there's water going across through the bay, and we don't know if there's a water leak in between there. What you can do is put a tap on one side of the pipe, and then on the other side, get another tap, and put some monitoring devices and measure. You know, it can tell you if there's leaks going through there or water loss on the water accounts going through there.
But what would, if there is a leak, how would they fix it? Just leave it?
Well, that's separate, you know, we probably, and he does know, personnel that do fix leaks underwater and all that.
Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, but isn't that thing valved on both sides?
Yes, it is.
Well, if we turn the valves off on both sides and put a pressure gauge on it, the pressure goes down, you can bet you got a leak underneath there.
That was one of the things that we talked about, you know, and the other thing that I mostly concerned about is the water audit that we talked about, because he's a professional on the water audits, and I believe it's about time for us to have one.
No,
He
last
gave me a
time-
proposal, but-
Last time was in 2004.
He gave a proposal, now it's go to you guys later. Right now, we're just in,
Don't do that, Ryan.
Pardon?
We can't get the state to come in and.
The state will not do a water audit for us, will they?
No.
TCQ, nobody like that.
I know we've done, surveys on water audits ourselves, internal.
The last time we did a water audit was 2004, and I think Scott and I just got on the board. At that time, we were selling more water than we were processing. So there were some issues. Which is a-
We found out that the meters
It's a
were
great
not.
thing.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal to me.
Well, actually, the water meters,
Let's do it.
we had new meters in the system out in the field, but at the water treatment plants, we had, the meters were old, so.
Yeah, I think it was a meter problem.
We found the problem. Actually, I'll be talking to this guy again and see if we can get one going.
Okay.
Well, $7,000 or
We can
something.
put a proposal on the next agenda, and we'll look at it.
So I want to advise you guys that
I
that's
think
what,
it's time we
we're
got it.
looking for. Thank you.
As long as you don't raise the price.
And that's it on my part.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Any questions for General Manager? No? Item 6, District Engineers Report. Charles?
All right. Yeah, on my engineer's report, I was going to just talk about water plants, so 1 and 2 real quick, mainly because the following board item that's further down on item number 16.
Okay.
And just starting off with water plant 1, I mean, mainly we have, you know, this filter control system that's just due to get replaced because it's at the point, I mean, to get I guess updated by the original control system provider. Because mainly we're at the point to where if something goes down, replacement parts won't be available. So we're proposing to just go ahead and get the upgrade like they're recommending so we can stay current. And basically, in advance of that, we want to go ahead and be repairing some of the actuators and solenoids and speed control valves, which we can kind of do that in-house. So basically, we'll be doing that in advance before we actually proceed with the control system, just so, you know, all of it will be working as a whole in the filters. And I mean, the other part of it is just mainly like the flocculator and the clarifiers. I mean, it's kind of doing its job, but maybe one just got rebuilt, but it's one of those things we'll have to look at for rehab in the near future, I suppose. And the same thing goes with the filter itself. We're buying some additional anthracite in that media because basically, you know, with the backwash, you tend to lose some of that anthracite over time. And so we've been having some issues with our TOC removal. And so by getting that additional material, TOC, the total organic carbon. Basically, if you lose that material, you're going to reduce your amount of, you know, TOC removal. And so what we're doing is we're going to basically order that additional material, and then run the plant through October to go ahead and prevent any issues down the road. So we stay in compliance with our TOC efficiency.
That's for plant 1.
Yeah, that's at plant 1. And so I mean everything seems to be doing okay. We're just taking that action to prevent, you know, a future violation or potential basically. And as far as, I guess, just to give you an update on THMs, the official sampling is going to be done at the end of the month. And so we're going to conduct some unofficial samples, I guess, tomorrow. And then we've also done some at the plant where we've gotten like a 0.2 or 20.
Yeah, we have 20 in water plant 1 and 60 at water plant 2, and we made adjustments to further drop that number that we're in the plant.
Yeah,
Still under 80.
correct. So I mean, we're on track to have good numbers coming out this quarter. So
We need it, guys. We need the numbers.
All right, so let's see. And then I guess the last item, mainly at the, just kind of talking about water plant one as a whole, is clear well pump 3 needs to be replaced. And we gotta make sure we have good pumps that are clear well, because I think that can be the bottleneck when things are down. So we're in the process of getting that fixed as well. And I guess just moving on to water plant 2, it's kind of the same stuff we've been talking about, where we have the shutdown scheduled September 22nd. And at that point, we'll install the static mixer, so we'll have better chloramines. What's going on?
That's the new chlorinator.
Well, no, well, the new chlorine dioxide, we have an advertisement out there being put out for bid.
No, I'm not talking about the product. The infrastructure to put the product in there, because that's the new. Okay. Let's run this through again.
Okay.
We had to do some work with chlorine in at a different point, correct?
Correct.
Is that complete?
Well, the feed points are moved. They were moved, the feed point got moved March 25th, but it's kind of been a temporary setup. And so the proper setup with a true sample point and a static mixer,
Well, when's that going to happen?
September 22nd. And that's because we need a full day shutdown. September 22nd, correct. And at that point, all the punch list items where the electrical contractor needs to pull the undersized wire out and replace it, that's all scheduled for the same day. So at that point, electrical addition, all the punch list items should be approved, should be in place and finalized, on the 22nd. So that's basically where we're at water plant 2. Some of the other items, I suppose, are just like at the backwash waste discharge pump. I mean, we need to maybe look at repairing or possibly replacing one of those pumps. That's one section, one last item we haven't really touched at the water plant. And that chlorine dioxide, the permanent system, is currently being advertised out for bid.
Number 2 now?
At plant number 2? Just the waste, the backwash waste discharge pumps. I mean, basically, what's in there is either existing, or we had pulled the old pumps from Cuates and have them operating at that point, because we've just been, cannibalizing parts to keep that operating,
We
basically.
never put that in when we built the new plant.
No, that wasn't part of the microfiltration improvements.
Kind of like the generator.
Another error, no movements.
Well, it's additional work. I mean, it's just one of those things we'll keep an eye on, down the road, or it's just gonna be more maintenance, basically. And so, I mean, that's kind of, I guess wrapping up the status of the plants in a nutshell, where we're at.
I got a question on the water plant number 2, or water plants in general.
Mhm.
I heard this phrase the other day, when you burn, what does it mean when you burn? When you burn?
When you burn, it's only using free chlorine, so it's only chlorine going into our distribution system, and we're not making chloramines.
And do we do that once a year, twice? Do we do it at a certain time, or as needed, or
Well-
why do we do that?
Well, we do it basically because when we're using chloramines, you'll get a lot of bacteria or film in the distribution pipes.
Mhm.
And so basically, when you run chlorine only and turn off that ammonium, you'll just basically clean out your system. And usually you're allowed to run for 30 days under that condition every quarter, correct? Yeah.
You see a lot of water districts do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The state allows it, and that is as needed. I think the state allows it like on a quarterly basis, 4 times a year, from 15 to 30 days, I think it is. Normally we've done 15 days,
What's the reason for it?
clean up the lines internally.
It's like a shock treatment.
Yeah, it's the stuff. It's
On a pool, right, just shocking.
right. It's so you don't have nitrification. You clean out your system.
The only thing is that you don't free chlorinate it like on a high dose, it's on the lower doses, but you can smell it, it's strong enough to clean it
So
up.
that's why we're getting that over.
Yeah. In this past year, we ran basically in August on free chlorine and January, and I think the rest of the time we were on chloramines.
Now I know what to tell public when they ask why the chlorine's high or why it's low. You got that, Mr. Wells?
I did that last meeting.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. All right. Any other questions for Charles? Move on to item number 7, Director of Operations report. Mr. Victor?
Okay, for the month of August that we have, we did put in a notice in the newspaper for our
wastewater renewal for the Isla Blanca wastewater plant. That came out last Thursday in the Portsville Press, and then it came out Saturday in the El Nuevo Heraldo and Bronzo paper. After we turn in the affidavits that we receive them, we'll get our final permit for the Isla Blanca wastewater plant on that one. For the month of August, we did have 5 water taps and 4 sewer taps. We also had 5 water leaks that we had to fix. And then also on East Sunset on South Padre Island, they're doing some road work over there, so we had to adjust a 50 feet of a 2-inch water line that crossed the road, so we had to adjust that.
Farther down?
Yes,
Farther down?
yes, further down, because they were gonna repave the road, so it was in conflict, so we had to go further down. On the, for the meters, we did have a total of 22 swap meters for the month. It was 21 5/8 meters and 1 4-inch meter. We did test 19 of them, different sizes as well. We had, and for Mr. Thomas over there, we are working on the I-beams at the mechanic shop, the roof. We got that going. They already,
How many you got done?
that first corner section right there, where we saw, they got that corner done there.
Where's
So,
it in
so it's, they're doing what they can there. And then, what else do we have? Oh, then we have 2, waste, oh, yes.
Excuse me for interrupting, you were talking about the meters and the testing, what were the results on some of them? Have you found any issues, or are they still working solid, or?
No, usually when they exchange them out, when they swap them out, is because we're having some reading problems. So they did that.
You said you tested 19, and
Mhm.
does that mean they were not running good or not?
Yeah, basically those
Performing
are, the reason is because they're with a high profile, and the consumption is sometimes, duplicated or triplicated. So most of them, either we're trying to do the transmitter change, or just, if we can swap them, if we have enough meters, that's an issue right now because of the inventory and the budget and all of that. But we're trying to go with the transmitters first, and then if that is not working, then we're telling our meter readers, to do the swap if it's available.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas?
Well, we should have enough meters. I noticed back in disbursements, we spent a whole bunch of money on 5/8 meters. Of course, it didn't
We're
work out.
spending, and the thing is that according to the swaps, we're using them, and then, they're
How many
going
did we
away.
buy?
Yeah, well, we're buying 28 every time, that's kind of like about $5,000. And the thing is that, hopefully by next meeting, we can put something together, because we would like to ask, for an approval for a bigger purchase, so that way we can restock the ones that we were, putting for dismantle. And, but basically on those issues that we have with the meters that, are giving us, high consumption, is, let's say that, a customer that usually receives a bill for $24, now they're getting it for $100 or $200. So of course, we have a lot of customers complaining about it. But those are the ones that, in an emergency, we need to work with those clients.
Yeah, well, we're getting close to where we're gonna have to redo them all.
I mean, it's
Yes.
urgent, because like, what is it? I was checking with, our meter readers, and basically out of, the 6,500 accounts that we have, more or less, it's like 500 meters have been replaced for the last 5 years.
Wow.
So it's, like he's saying,
Almost-
14
almost
here,
10%.
10 here and there.
And it's gonna keep probably getting worse?
Yes, it is getting worse, and that's the thing that, when we're getting the water
But
cells.
Should we be looking at a different type of meter, or a better type of meter for replacement? I mean, the technology certainly has
Yes,
advanced in
Well,
10
yeah.
years
We
since
have been
those were
looking at
introduced.
different types of meters. and
I
we
mean, that
tested,
this may be compatible, but a better quality or better grade.
And we did talk about that on
'Cause
change
those
out
are
of
Badger meters, aren't they? That is a company.
what we
Yes.
have now is Badger meters.
Badger.
But we're trying to start like Laguna Vista on this way, I believe that the lowest consumption is on that side, because I've been seeing the reports, and I believe that those are all mostly 5/8 meters, so that's where we need to start. And we'll come with a proposal later on, like for meter change out in Laguna Vista. And then we'll come back this way, like, Laguna High, Portisville, that's all.
Victor?
And then, just wanted to announce, we did have, two wastewater plant employees that, passed their licenses. Francisco Guzman, passed his B license, and Hugo Galvan passed his C license. So we're on the right track with them. And then, to finish off my report, I did leave some pictures, some photos there for you all. This is just, some of the preliminary work for the raw water line, over at the baseball field over here. So far, we've installed over 200 feet of 2-inch line through there. I also, in the next page, I put in the electrical work that has to be done also. You know, we have to cross the road, we have to trench across the road, and then we also have to break a little piece of that wall cement just to put in the electrical conduit through there, and then so we can be able to connect the rest of the power. On that third page, you see that trench where we're going by.
All us. All us in-house, right?
Well, for right now, it is in-house, but we are working on a price estimate to show the Portisville what's gonna cost.
Right, because, yeah, when we had that meeting with the city manager a couple of months ago, he was saying to develop our estimate and then send it to the city, and so basically I shot it over an email to him earlier this week, and he hasn't responded, but I'm still putting together the cost estimate, which roughly we're looking close to 50 grand for the cost for installation.
That's just to get from the water plant to the meter.
Right.
And
Well, that's something we're gonna handle and just keep billing them until we recoup that money, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what, I'm assuming what we're gonna do.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can, we're planning to do that.
Keep the
But
water
I
rate
believe
where it's
it
at
might
until
be a
we
lot
get the
less
money
than
back.
50,000, it'll be a lot less.
That's some more accounting for some on the farm,
Yeah.
until we get it done.
Right, yeah, and the other part is us, trying to get on the city commission's agenda, so they buy into putting the meter on raw water and taking care of their private side of the plumbing
Okay.
that needs to be done.
All right.
Yeah, we'd
Well,
like to explain the savings that they're gonna have in the long run.
Let me know when, and I'll be glad to be there for that.
Okay, yeah, I'll start with phone calls tomorrow.
Okay, maybe Scott or something. I'll go. I like the last page.
Okay, then I got just an update on the clarifiers there at the Isla Blanca, on the clarifier. They're more than halfway done. They are taking it, doing what they can with, it's about four guys that are usually out there doing that work. And then the last two pages I put in there is just some of the dangers we have during the summer months, you know. We have our meter readers and doing some bee extraction there on that page. This was I think it was Jared Martinez and Omar Valdez that were in the bee suits, getting the meter box, the bees out of that meter box.
I heard they also caught a big alligator yesterday too.
Well, this morning it was
This
here by the
morning,
high
last
school.
night, yeah, by the high school.
Yes.
Wow.
And then the last page we had, the rattlesnake on top, that's a 6-footer found at the water plant 2 with these guys. And the one at the bottom is a 3-footer that was
Them
found.
rats that are chewing on our
The bottom one is a 3-footer that was found in right when they were checking the meter over in Laguna Vista on Mesquite, on the east side of Mesquite, on that alley. It's just some of the dangers that our employees have to go through, during the summer months. Is usually when this happens is the summer months.
You have fun getting that one?
And I think Jared mentioned today that he had killed the smaller one at the lab here.
Oh, yes, there was a baby one that they killed over by the lab.
Those are the ones I like, they say, the smaller
So
ones.
Yeah.
there's a baby, there's gotta be more babies around the area, so
That's
tell them
scary.
be careful.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Victor. Any questions? Comments? On item number 8, motion to, consider and remove from the table the following item tabled at the board meeting of August 26, 2015, is consider and approve the budget for fiscal year 2015, 2016. I would like a motion to go ahead and remove that from the table because there's some discussion I want to do on it. Motion by Mr. Friedman,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Mr. Thomas, motion carries. Item 9 is consider and approve the budget fiscal year 2015 and 2016. Gentlemen, I wanted to let y'all know that this weekend I was going over the budget, and I did see some things that were at issue, and talked to Mr. Galvano about it, and Mr. Valdez about it. And so the staff is working on fixing those corrections. And we plan on, I would like to plan on having another workshop before the last meeting, before the next meeting, the last meeting of the month. Maybe 5 o'clock, 5:30 to discuss those changes, and then we'll have, we should have those corrections in the packet before the next meeting, correct?
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Thomas?
When are we going to,
What was the question, I'm sorry?
When are we gonna get the packet?
When are we gonna get the changes?
After that meeting, as soon as we get, after the meeting.
The budget meeting, the budget committee meeting, right after.
We're gonna have another budget committee meeting?
Oh,
I
no,
thought
you
did have one?
mentioned
I
that,
thought you said you wanted a budget committee meeting.
No, well, I'm sorry, we need a workshop.
Workshop.
We want a workshop meeting.
Okay.
So we can explain the changes that were made
Yeah,
before the next meeting.
we're planning to have,
workshop meeting before we see the next budget report?
No, we'll get it in the packet.
Okay,
Alright, so-
like right here,
Next meeting on 23rd.
that's our next board meeting.
The next meeting is 23rd. We'll have it by the 18th, correct, when the packets go out?
yes, and by tomorrow, we should be able to run the packages.
Or maybe
The
even
workshop,
maybe
you
even
wanna
sooner.
have the workshop, you wanna have it like
Before the regular
before
meeting.
there? Okay, that's fine
Yeah.
then. As like I mentioned, last week I'll be out of town from here to here. Arizona, but
Okay.
I'll be back on the 19th and get the packet and read it.
Okay, so that
We have
way,
the workshop, the 23rd at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock or 5:15? How about 5:15?
5:15,
All we
5:30.
gotta do is-
Shouldn't be much to cover, really.
We're just
by
gonna
that
go over
point.
the changes, yeah. So
Okay.
5:15?
Yeah, sounds good,
Okay.
yeah.
And also, gentlemen, we need, from what my understanding is, that part of this budget does need to be approved because we need to go ahead and adopt our tax rate for this coming fiscal year. So what I would like is if Mr. Lucio can see if it's advice on it. Yep. Yeah, I would just like to pull out,
Out of the budget.
I would just like to pull it out of the budget, the debt service portion only. And if we can approve that.
Well, let's talk this week.
Okay, well, what
We need to do it
happened,
tonight.
it's,
We need to-
Okay.
this is what it is.
I haven't had any.
No, no, no.
Okay.
I just thought of it.
It just came up tonight, so
All right.
what happens is
Start your lawyer
the debt
now.
service,
I know.
the debt service is part of the
You
budget.
know, is how I got that rate, the one that I'm sending for the citizen that, and it's already published, according to the stipulations that we have. The only thing is that, we're saying that rate, it's gonna be to pay that money that we already have. So it's just, the debt service, it's a loan, and that's something that we do annually.
Our property taxes only goes to pay our tax bond.
Yes,
And
just
so
for that.
we have to have this in there. And is there a deadline that we have to have? this?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the
Yes,
the
yeah,
deadline
tomorrow I
for
need
you
to
to get
send
the
it.
tax information to who?
To the appraisal district.
To the president.
Yeah, I need to send the
And
resolution.
this is not, I mean, this has nothing to do with any of the operating expenses or
No.
revenues coming in. This is strictly tax.
It's just, it's the base of that tax. And we already checked it with the financial advisor and all
Can
of
that,
that, so.
we
Okay.
just,
I mean,
Yeah.
can we approve that, just this portion of the budget right now?
as far as the information that's being shared with me right now, I don't see any problems with doing so. But again, issues dealing with budget and taxes aren't information I typically readily have available or come to mind. So in the future, if I could have a little more time to research, but.
I just thought of it
Yeah.
today. I just thought of it today. I just thought of it
It's
today.
okay.
We're all operating under tight times.
We're all good today, we're all dead.
Yeah, 2 minutes is.
Yeah. Any of this approval here is not gonna change.
But there's no question, there's no
No changes.
questions as far as this goes. We have to do it no matter what.
We already verified with the financial
And your
advisor as well.
Right, and your financial advisor says
Yes. Mhm.
they know what they're doing.
Okay. So if I can get a motion to go ahead and approve the debt portion, the debt service portion of the budget for 2015 and 2016.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Freeman.
I'm just not understanding what we're doing.
Okay. Can I explain again?
We're removing from the overall budget.
We're just removing this one page.
The debt service, which is.
Only approving one page, the debt
We're only
service
approving
page,
this one page.
which is in
The debt
relation
service
to,
is
it has to
fine.
be
The debt
approved
service is fine,
so that the
yeah.
tax rate can be
What
published.
page is that?
This is the
18.
Debt. Go to debt.
Debit.
Debit, debt.
That information
Because all that money goes to pay, it's property taxes and
It
it goes
is
to pay our
verified
bond
by,
indebtedness.
yeah, I'll provide
Got
the
nothing to do
information
with
that he
operations,
provides for
nothing to do
us.
with revenue coming in.
So this isn't gonna change?
This will not never change, no. We have no problem, because we
No,
can't even, we can't
that's-
change it, we can't change
exactly.
this anyway, because
It's
our bond.
just the
Property
amount that we're
taxes paid,
paying.
Tax bonds.
Tax bonds, and that's what the tax bond issues.
Now, the other portion of the budget pays the revenue bonds.
Operations.
Right. We're not talking about,
No, no,
we're only
no.
talking about the tax bonds.
Yes.
The debt service for tax bonds, correct?
Yes, correct.
This is not revenue bonds.
No, this is just, kinda like saying that we are understanding how we're gonna, recoup the money that we need to pay our taxes back for those bonds.
Yes, we have a motion by Mr. Freeman
What was the motion?
to,
To approve the debt service page.
To approve the debt service budget.
okay?
As far as the existing, this is right now the existing annual budget report.
Proposed.
The motion will be to vote on the debt service, deleting, I want to make sure that the rest of this budget is deleted from voting. This is how, let's start this way.
That's good.
That's the only thing we're voting on.
That's correct.
Correct.
That's right.
You accept the amendment?
Yes.
This motion? All right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second already.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on to item number 10. Consider and approve resolution number 1, 2. Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to skip that one, correct? We're going to pass on that one.
Should we table it?
Correct? No, we pass. No action on 10.
No action.
No action on 10. Very good. Item number 11, consider and approve a 28-month lease agreement with Archer Business Systems, Inc. through the buy board procurement. Mr. Gallant?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this printer that we have is not included in the Archer package that we have already existing, and it's gonna expire October the 1st. So I'd like to put it in our existing agreement with Archer, and it's for 28 months, that we start in October. So complete the whole package together with Archer equipment and business systems, and that way we can have everything combined as one company only taking care of our printers, and that would be through the buy board procurement.
Okay. Very good. Any questions? We have a motion, please? Motion by Mr. Thomas.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wells. Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, consider and approve resolution 123-09-15, levying the Laguna Madre Water District ad valorem taxes for the year 2015 at .04463 per $100 valuation rate.
And that's what it has to be, right?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Wells,
Second.
second by Mr. Friedman. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, consider and approve resolution number 124-09-15, approving capital assets policies and procedures. Someone?
On this one, we're just following a recommendation from our auditors. So in order for us to capitalize those meters that I was telling you about, it's easier to have everything in order, and this is the basic, just, to have that policy ready.
Okay. We get a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells, second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 14, consider and approve manhole rehab for the Laguna Vista sanitary sewer improvements. Item 14.
Question, well, need a motion on it.
Can we get a motion, please, first?
I'll make it.
Motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. Questions? Yes, sir.
Question to the chair. We got 75 feet, vertical feet of manholes. How many manholes is that, Victor?
Well, this is gonna cover, at least 12, because most of them, some of them are about 3 or 4 feet from the bottom only that need covering, and then the rest is fiberglass, which is in good
Deeper
shape.
one?
So
Why are we lining the deeper one?
we're lining the bottom
Fiberglass
part.
one. We're just doing the bottom.
Yes,
Sure.
because the bottom part is cement, and then,
Okay, but-
I don't know how they did them back then, but they have like 4 feet of cement on the bottom, and then it comes up to fiberglass on top.
Okay, but that's bench and invert, which is 3 that I can see here. Invert means bottom inside for you guys that don't know.
Thank you.
Yes.
Um,
We only put 3 of those, because we did notice there was, and that's just 2 of them that we did notice that were bad. We put an extra one just in case we found another one that might need something.
Is this gonna include that one out in Laguna Vista that we were trying to relocate and it's just too much money? Well, we ought
What was
to,
it?
am I on the
Is that
next
17?
page for that?
That was a lift station, wasn't it?
That's lift station.
Lift station.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next.
That's gonna be the next item.
Okay, next item.
Yes. This is just all the project that's been going on in Laguna Vista with the sewer line replacements. This is lining, most of the manholes that got worked on, we're gonna be lining those on the bottom.
How much inclusion we get, how much water are we getting coming into them?
Those are, I mean, there's a trickle in some, but on some of them there is kind of a stream, you know. So, and most of those, from the bottom, the cement, you can already see some of the rebar coming out, so we wanna make sure we cover that up, get it all cleaned up.
Further questions?
Yeah, how does that work if they got pressure coming in? How do they seal the darn thing against that pressure? Just get down there by hand and put hydraulic cement and crack till it seals off or what?
Yeah, what they usually do is they'll throw some powder on it first, some dry, and then once they get it down to a trickle, then they'll start spraying some of it on there, and it'll dry up. They usually just plug up all the incoming lines, and that gives them about a 2-hour window. Gives them a 2-hour window to work, and
Right.
it dries up pretty quick. Then they'll come back after. They'll seal it after about a week. They'll come in and then they'll epoxy the inside. You know, put that epoxy liner on the inside as well, and then we're good to go from there.
Awesome, thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Thomas, a second by Mr. Wells. Any further questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 15 is consider and approve lift station number 17, wet well rehab. Need a motion, please?
That's the one that they actually wanted to move. Correct?
Yes, this is the one on the alley between what is it, Monroe and
Like the Turia walkway.
yeah, the Turia walkway right there.
I thought we were gonna get that for like 35,000, and now I'm looking. I swear last week we were talking and it was a $35,000 deal, or is that something?
That was another one. We've got two more lift stations that also need, but those are gonna be further down. We wanna just take care of these 2 now, and then we'll work on the other 2. And this lift station 17 is gonna come out of the infrastructure fund,
The sewer.
the sewer infrastructure.
Get a motion, please?
He's the one that knows
I'll make a motion.
what it's worth. I don't.
Motion by Mr. Freeman,
Second.
second by Mr. Thomas. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 16, consider and approve rehabilitation of the existing filter control system at water plant number 1. That's what Charles was already talking about.
Yeah.
Get a motion, please?
68 grand.
That was part of our capital improvements, one of the capital improvement projects that we're gonna be doing this coming year.
Is that a good price on that, Whitey?
Yeah. That's what they recommended.
Okay, then I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr.
I
Wells,
just
second
don't know
by
what the
Mr.
stuff's
Friedman.
worth, God.
Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 17, consider and approve the purchase of spare parts at the water plant number 2. I believe this was discussed at our last budget hearing or meeting too.
We're actually gonna have some stuff in stock, so we don't have to drive from that county.
Correct. Motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 18, consider and approve disbursements.
A motion to approve disbursement.
We have a motion by Mr. Friedman,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. Questions, comments?
It's weird.
Spent a lot of money for cake. So I didn't hear.
For what, tape?
Is that for the party? At the beach? The employee thing? Employee party. Or is,
I don't think I.
Retirement.
oh, Ms. Lopez retired?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that the district paid for is a cake.
Oh, I hope so.
Everybody pitched in
Some
from
of
the
the retired,
states.
the rest of these bums out, they're supposed to take up a collection.
Well, we paid
Pick
for
up a
it.
collection among themselves.
They do take a collection for the steak, the T-bone. Oh my God. It's good. It's good. Any other questions, comments? I had a question on page 10, I believe it was, about the lag, D-E-L-A-G-E. What is that? Oh, that's copy stuff? Okay, I didn't.
Scott's too.
I know, because I pay them too,
You pay them too?
in my law firm. And I ask, what is that every month?
You asked the same thing, right? What is that?
Yeah, the abbreviation.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions, Mr. Thomas? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 19, executive session permitted by the Open Meeting Act, VTCA Government Code, Section 551.001. Under Section 551.01, consultation with the attorney, Section 551.074, personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of district employees to with the district engineer. We have a motion to go into executive session at 6:45.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells.
This is a 5-minute break.
Correct. Second. Can we get a second, please?
Second.
Second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are going into executive session after a 5-minute break.